This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for December 23rd, 2025. Pro-shot footage of Slipknot's entire June 28th set at the Resurrection Fest in Spain has now been shared online by the festival. Slipknot took the stage to the theme song from the 1980s television show Knight Rider and played Spit It Out, Surfacing, and Scissors for their encore. Atreyu issued their new song Dead earlier this year, singer Brandon Soller revealing to Full Metal Jackie that they have a rule in place that's impacting the sound of what they're currently working on. Saying, quote, "We actually gave ourselves a 10-year rule where when we're writing music, we aren't allowed to listen to any music that wasn't at least 10 years old. It's really like us going back to our early influences of bands like Hatebreed and Soilwork and In Flames and local hardcore bands that we grew up listening to. And it was kind of cool to not be influenced by the modern world just because I feel like maybe there's too much of that these days. I think that a lot of bands are so heavily influenced by what's going on today that by the time they recreate it or try to, that thing has already moved on and it's something else." An unreleased Queen Christmas song that, quote, "no one has ever heard" will soon be released, according to guitarist Brian May. The title is called Not For Sale Polar Bear. It was recorded in 1974 during the making of the band's second album, Queen 2, but it didn't make the final cut. The song, 5 decades later, has been unearthed from the archives and received its first radio play on Planet Rock yesterday. It'll also appear on a reissue of Queen 2 due in 2026. Brian May saying people might possibly have heard a bootleg version of Not For Sale Polar Bear by Smile. It's a song that goes back a very long way, but to my knowledge, no one has ever heard this version. It's a work in progress and will appear on the forthcoming rebuild of the Queen 2 album coming next year. But I'm sneaking this into my Planet Rock special because I'm fascinated to know what people think about it. I hope people have a wonderful Christmas and a great New Year. A new Lady Gaga concert film is set to arrive on Christmas Eve called Lady Gaga in Harlequin Live, One Night Only. It was recorded last year during her performance at Los Angeles' Belasco Theater, where Lady Gaga performed Harlequin, her 2024 companion album to Joker, Folie à Deux, in which she starred as Harley Quinn in its entirety. The film premieres on YouTube tomorrow, December 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Harley Quinn is up for Best Traditional Pop Album at the 2026 Grammy Awards. Lady Gaga has also taken home that trophy twice before, in 2015 and 2022, for Cheek to Cheek and Love for Sale, her collaborative albums with the late Tony Bennett. She's nominated in 7 categories total at next year's Grammys, including Album of the Year for Mayhem, as well as Record and Song of the Year for the single Abracadabra. Bob Dylan was recently asked to describe Willie Nelson for a profile in The New Yorker. Bob Dylan dug deep for some choice words, saying, quote, "It's hard to talk about Willie without saying something stupid or irrelevant. He is so much of everything." Labeling Willie Nelson everything from an ancient Viking soul to a moonshine philosopher to a cowboy apparition who writes songs with holes that you can crawl through to escape from something. Slaughter to Prevail lead singer Alex Terrible is planning to launch a bare-knuckle fighting promotion in conjunction with an event being put together by Danny Wimmer Presents and Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Speaking on December 21st, he outlined his plans for the new promotion called Blood for Blood, saying in part, "That's fucking crazy, and I'll get Kratos into this card, and I will get myself into this card, and I'm gonna fucking play with Slaughter to Prevail in the same fucking night. Is it crazy? It is crazy, and I'm a fucking crazy guy. Let's fucking go, Kratos. You will win." Gary Monty Mounfield, the legendary bassist of the Stone Roses and Primal Scream, was honored during a memorial service held in Manchester, England on Monday. A number of his musical contemporaries attended the ceremony at the Manchester Cathedral, including former bandmates Liam Gallagher and Paul Bonehead Arthurs of Oasis, Mike Joyce of The Smiths, Peter Hook from New Order, Mark Berry from the Happy Mondays, and Sir David Beckham and Gary Neville also paid their respects. A new unheard album of Van Halen songs has reportedly been released, sidelining the age-old David Lee Roth versus Sammy Hagar conversation. The new compilation album comprises instrumental recordings pulled from the soundboard during rehearsals for their 2007 tour. As Van Halen's final iteration, it features Eddie's son Wolfgang on bass. Prepared for their debut tour, the group Sand Singer rehearsed tirelessly. The material, which included run-throughs of Unchained, Runnin' with the Devil, and Hot for Teacher, were recorded at 5150 Studios between November of 2006 and January of 2007. The recordings have been compiled and released by writer and filmmaker Andrew Bennett, who was documenting the band's activity at the time. And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 289, featuring Jess Margera from CKY, is available now.